All right, the marquee, Mr. David Hull, everybody. Go ahead.
Well, let's talk about the marquee. Let's go over to Carolina. Yes, sure, they lost another game, but it isn't the loss on the field that everyone is talking about. It is what happened with their owner, David Tepper. He was visibly upset after watching Bryce Young throw the fourth quarter interception that sealed another loss for the Panthers, and he threw a drink at a Jacksonville fan in the stands from his suite.
All right, here's what you got to know about David Tepper. This is real simple, okay? This is the same dude who's had 5 coaches since buying the team in 2018. This is the same guy who's fired everyone with the soccer team he started. And it's the same guy who was so upset about not getting a promotion at Goldman Sachs that he left to start his own hedge fund, then bought his old boss's house and razed it to the ground. This dude is something. So, yeah, not going well. I think you're going to have a hard time finding a coach that's willing to enter that situation. David, it might be time for you to call Paulson's and enjoy the game from home.
David, if I was the fan that the drink got thrown on, I would have been like my man from Friday and just been laying out saying, my neck, my back, my neck and back.
Sir, it was a vodka tonic. Ow!
I slipped and fell. Oh!
So the league has said nothing yet. The Panthers have said nothing yet, but a report from Jonathan Jones, covers the NFL for CBS, says he's been talking to folks around the league the last few days, and a substantial fine and potential suspension from games has been on the table.
Listen, it took Daniel Snyder 20 years to get got. All right, Tepper's got about 15 more to go being egregious.
You're correct.
But he's something, man. He's hyper-aggressive, but it's – just keep going. This isn't Carolina radio.
Yeah, so let's move over to the Miami Dolphins. We'll get into who wins the AFC East in a second. God. But, yes, they got blown out on Sunday 56-9, but I think the bigger loss is losing Bradley Chubb. He was leading the league or leading the team in sacks, tore his ACL, done for the year.
Yeah, I mean, David, their problems go well beyond that. I mean, it's just clear this team can't beat anybody with a pulse. I mean, the Dallas game, they escaped. They needed a goal line fumble. Look at what Miami's done against teams with a losing record, and then look at what they do against teams with a winning record. And now, by the way, Buffalo is coming to your place.
Correct.
Favored by a full 3.
Yeah.
David, they might finish the collapse here.
That's what I was going to say. Now, who wins the AFC East now? Because they're not playing well. Buffalo's on fire.
Hold on. Buffalo didn't exactly
I think
excite the world with their performance against New England.
I think they'll correct themselves. I think they will win the division this week and defeat Buffalo. But, yeah, they went up against the Ravens team, and the Ravens team is super hot right now. You knew that was going to happen. There was no way you were stopping Lamar. He's on his bid to win another MVP of the league. He's kind of on his own personal spike tour. You all said that I was ridiculous, that I shouldn't hold out. Nobody wanted to trade for me. Well, how do you feel about me now?
So then let's go over to the NFC East, where Philadelphia just looks like trash right now. They go to New York. Dallas heads to Washington. Philly needs Washington. They need Dallas to lose. Is it any shot that Philly wins that division?
Washington is playing Dallas.
Washington is playing Dallas,
No.
yes, in Washington.
Here's how bad it is for Philly. They're in a must-win game at MetLife against my garbage Giants. They are 4.5-point favorites. It's a clown car. Defensively, Arizona possessed the football for 41 minutes in a National Football League game. How is that possible? They can't. This has been Philly's issue all year. Go back and look at the Buffalo game. Go back and look at the Kansas City game. All these games, they have 92 snaps against the Bills. They can't get off the field.
No. I have no idea what happened to that team because, remember, at one point in the NFL power rankings, they were the number 1 team. It looked like it was their destiny, not just to have the number 1 seed. They probably were going to have to represent. They were going to represent and win the Super Bowl. And then the bottom fell out. They just, I thought maybe they righted the ship when they beat the Eagles. I'm like, okay, they're back. No, they're not. And if you got to count on Washington to beat Cowboys, they're feeling themselves. Cowboys know, due to them losing to the Cardinals, this is our division. Now, we beat the Lions.
And the league gave it to us.
Yeah. So,
All right.
You know what? We're going to capitalize on that, and you'll get the rematch against Detroit and Dallas in a few weeks.
So let's jump over to Pittsburgh real quick because yet again,
Why?
there's more controversy in Pittsburgh.
Wait,
Every
hold on,
week.
hold on. First of all, can we just shout out your coach?
Sure.
He cannot ever have a losing season, even when he has hot garbage for a team. Mike Tomlin.
One Super Bowl. Reports were that Pickett refused to be the backup quarterback for the last game. He spoke to reporters at his locker today, and he said, I saw reports out there that I felt like were attacking my character and how I am as a person. There was no talk of me being the backup quarterback at all last week. So he's denying that report. But what I want to focus on is some people thought it was the offensive coordinator. Many thought it was Kenny Pickett. We may have got that answer. Steelers have 58 points in 6.5 quarters with Mason Rudolph. In 10 quarters with Trubisky, they had 38 points in 10 quarters. They only had 16 quarters with 30 points with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's the problem.
Wow, you're kidding.
I
In
knew
other
that.
news, the sky's blue. Yeah, we know. Look, man, what do you want me to tell you? I always speak on it. Don't take quarterbacks outside of the top 10. This is what happens. You think you're going to be all cute and take the 5th or 6th guy off the board? It doesn't work. Oh, but he's from Pittsburgh. No one cares. The fact that Mason Rudolph is shredding people. I don't even know what sport I'm watching. I got Rudolph and Flacco. They look like gunslingers now. What is this?
Especially Flacco. Like, wow. We went into a time capsule.
Playoffs started today. Browns would travel to Jacksonville in the wild card round.
Browns would win.
You're damn right.
And let me close it out with this because the whole question of resting versus playing players in the final week of the season, Kyle Shanahan said it's not about that. It's about preparing in practice that matters. So where do you stand? Rest players or play players?
Just it really depends on the team, the situation, and the player. It's not a cop-out. You know the players that are doing just fine. You know the guys that are 50-50 could use a break. Like, look, Rico's team. You have no reason to play Christian McCaffrey. None. You can give this man a full 2 weeks off.
Probably Trent Williams as well.
Right. Headed into a practice week. Now, you still got to win the game. Got to take care of your business. But it's just different for different teams.
Right. You know the players that if they take a week off, they're all of a sudden, it's going to take a month to get them back to normal. But yeah, like for the Lions, no, you play everybody. You do not want to stop the momentum that you have. You play them. Now, maybe not a full game, because I think once you go up big on Minnesota, maybe you get a Hendon Hooker sighting. I don't know.
Oh, God.
But Goff, once you get like a 17-point lead, okay, we can power it down a little bit. And kind of like in basketball, one by one, start taking people out of the game. But I've never been one for resting your players because, David, when you do, it always seems to turn out into a first-round upset when you rest players because you don't have to play them in that final week.
Yeah, the old Indianapolis Colts would do that a lot. And that is in football today.